Good morning, gang. Happy Sunday morning. Okay, so the holidays are over. It's the middle of January. It's winter. And maybe the last thing you're thinking about is getting outside. However, now is probably the best time to do it. What I want to talk about this morning are 10 things that you should be doing at this point of the year uh, to get your gardens ready to grow your food this year. Couple of reasons. We have no idea what's going to happen this year in regards to food supply. Okay. If it's anything like the last couple of years, we're going to ebb and flow in regards to what's available to us. With the craziness that is 2024 expected with the election, who knows what's going to happen? The other thing is, you don't know what is and what's not going to be available. You know, simple questions. And I know somebody's going to say, well, guys do this. Do you do all your Christmas shopping the day before Christmas? No, because the stores are all picked over. There's nothing left. You know? Same thing with getting your gardens ready. If you get out and get this stuff done now, you're going to save money because we're on off season. Okay? You're going to save time because y'all know as well as I do, when spring rolls around, there's a boatload of stuff to do. You're starting seeds, you're turning soil, you're mowing the lawn, you're cleaning the garage, doing what, So if a lot of this stuff you get done now, you won't have to worry about it later. It'll make spring a lot less stressful. So let's get into top 10 things to do. Number one, get a soil test. Okay. The best way to do it, of course, is get a hold of your local extension office or whatever, where you can mail them soil samples or bring them in soil samples, and they will tell you what you're missing. The faster, less expensive, but not quite as good way is to get one of those soil tests from Home Depot or Lowe's or something and find out what your soil is lacking. Is it good in nitrogen? Is it good in potassium? Is it good in phosphorus? Do you have enough there to support plants? What's the acidity level? Are you an alkaline soil? Are you an acid soil? Can you balance that out? Most plants like a soil acidity of somewhere between 6.5 and 7. So whatever you need to add. This is when we get into the coffee grounds, eggshells, banana peels, chicken bones, stuff that I've showed you to make before, to use as soil amendments. Okay, this is the time to be putting that stuff down. So you want to spread all your soil amendments. This, of course, is number 2. Spread all your soil amendments once you get your soil test back. Usually takes a few days. Okay, unless you do it yourself, you have it the same day. You also, this is, believe it or not, as silly as this sounds, this is also the time to put down your first application of fertilizer. Okay, your 10-10-10 or whatever you're going to do. Those are slow release fertilizers, and I always laugh when people put it down. When they're planting, you put down slow release fertilizer that takes 3 to 4 months before it's going to start to be effective, and you're putting it down when you plant, but you're harvesting those plants in 3 months. So before the fertilizer even has a chance to be taken up by the plant, you're already trying to harvest from it. You want to get that stuff down now. Okay. Number 3, recycling your old potting soil. Okay. And we all have this. You planted tomatoes in buckets last year, or potatoes or carrots or whatever, and you've got all these buckets of soil. Hopefully you didn't throw it out. Now, you can do one of 2 things. You can dump that into your raised beds, mix that all in, or you can recycle that soil. You don't necessarily want to use the soil just as is, because the plants that were in it last year took all the nutrients out of it. So you want to rejuvenate that soil by again, mixing in the soil amendments, mixing in the fertilizers, and getting that sort of sifting the soil, getting out any weeds or whatever. Okay? You can use soil over and over and over again. You just have to rejuvenate it, guys. Don't don't let anybody tell you you can only use soil once and then you throw it out. I mean, if you're going to throw it out, at least throw it in your garden and let it rejuvenate in the garden with everything else you're going to mix in. But you can use it for pots again. Number 4, order your seeds. If you haven't done so already, this is the time to get them. The seeds are out. Okay, pretty much anybody has what they need. Now, granted, there's certain things like onion sets or whatever that aren't going to be sent to you yet, but get on the list for whatever you want. We don't know how many people are going to be ordering seeds, and I know you've all seen it when you've looked for trying to buy seeds. Sold out, sold out, sold out. Get it before it's sold out. You should know by now. You should already have your garden planned, that you know what you are going to be planting in 2024. It's probably different than it was in 2023. Make sure you have any seeds that you need. Sure, you saved some, but there's certain things that maybe you don't have enough. Order those seeds now. Number 5, start chitting your potatoes. Start making your sweet potato slips and plant your onion seeds. These are the things, if you're going to grow onions from seed. These need to be started now. You're going to be planting potatoes here in a couple of months. You want to get a decent stem on them. Okay? You want to bring them into a low light area at this point, if you don't already. You don't want to have them in pitch black. I know people say that all the time, and that's how you get these 2-foot long white sprouts on them, because it's looking for light, right? You want to get it in a low light area. Like I told you before, my corner of my living room works fine. Okay, it doesn't get a whole lot of sunlight, but there's enough light in there for it to slowly grow. You want to get a stocky sprout on it, not some long tentacle. Like number 6, again, start purchasing things. This is something else. Your seed starter. Okay? I mean, if you do this small scale, some seed starting mix. You do it larger scale like me, make your own. You're going to save a ton of money. I've showed you how to do this before. Buy your peat moss. Buy your fertilizer. Buy your solo cups. Okay? Not that I think we're going to have a shortage of solo cups, but every year I see peat moss sold out and fertilizers sold out, and your only choice is to buy the expensive fertilizer. You don't need the expensive fertilizer, guys. Walmart's brand of 10-10-10 is just as good as Scott's version of 10-10-10. Okay, it's still 10-10-10. Okay, yeah. Oh, gee, there's more sand in that, or something. That's fine. I don't care. Okay, if it's a 10-10-10 fertilizer, fine. It's good. Maintenance. This is where we get into. This is the best time to take inventory of all your tools, sharpen it, clean it, lube it. Okay, let's say your hedge clippers or your pruners. Take those out. Get a wire brush. Get some WD-40 or whatever. Get that rust off of them. Get it sprayed down and lubed so it works well. Make sure that all the parts on there are still good. Sharpen the tools. Okay, there's nothing worse for a plant than when you cut it with a dull, dull set of shears or anything like that. Even a shovel, sharpen your shovels. You'd be amazed digging in my soil here. Okay, a dull shovel is a lot harder to get through the soil than if you sharpen the edges of your shovel. I mean, it doesn't take much. I mean, if you've got a bench grinder or something, that's real easy. But even just a metal file, get down and sharpen your tools. It will make your life a hell of a lot easier, and your plants will stay a hell of a lot healthier. Number 8, doing any repairs to your raised beds. Okay, if you made it with 2x12s or something like that, hey, they get pushed out. Make it with stone, hey, those tip over. Get out and do the repairs on it now. Get everything ready so you have a nice square, rectangle, or whatever garden plot that you're doing for your raised bed, and you don't have to fix it later. Okay, it's a good time to do those repairs. Sure, if there's a foot of snow on the ground, that you might not be able to do, but there's enough in here that you can do, even if you live in Bangor, Maine. Number 9, check your water sources, your hoses, your watering cans for any damage. Did you leave your hoses out over the winter? Did they freeze? Did they crack? Oops. Okay. Or plastic sprinkling can. Did you leave that out? Did it crack? Did the flower on the end of it break? Do you need a new one? Again, now is the good time to go get it before the masses decide, hey, you know what? We need a whole bunch of new ones, and then you can't find one. Okay. Finally, number 10, service any power equipment that you have to get it running. Lawnmowers, change the oil, sharpen the blades. Let's say chainsaws. Hey, sharpen your chain, check the oils on it, make sure everything's good, clean up the tools. My guess is a lot of people, you should be doing this in the fall, but like me, okay, because I'm guilty of this every year too, there's so much going on with harvesting, canning, yada, yada, yada. The tools never get cleaned up or serviced properly. And so now in the wintertime, it's a good time to do it. Because the last thing you want to do is come the first time you got to get out and mow your lawn in the spring, realize your lawnmower doesn't start. And then you're running around. If you're mechanically inclined, you can fix it. You're running around trying to find parts. If you're not, you call up the local small engine guy and he goes, yeah, I can get you in about 3 weeks. And, because he's got 50 other people who didn't do anything and realize, gee, my lawnmower doesn't work. I got to get it fixed. Okay. So anything, lawnmowers, tillers, chainsaws, weed whackers, get all that stuff ready to go now. I know it's a little weird to say that in January, but like most people, I want to get outside and start doing something again. We're past the holidays, don't have to worry about Christmas decorations and Christmas presents and parties and everything. Now it's time to get back to the most important thing of how am I going to feed myself? And like you all know, more and more people are all of a sudden going, you know what? I need to plant something this year. I need to grow some of my own food because I can't afford it in the store. There's going to be a rush on stuff at Home Depot, at Lowe's, at Walmart. If you get it ahead of time, this is called prepping, okay? While everybody else is running around with chickens with their head cut off, you're out there going, got that done. I'm already ahead of the game. Go. Not a whole lot else to do this time of year, guys. I mean, unless you're out skiing or something, enjoying yourself. But for projects to do, this is an important one. Have a good Sunday. Pinball out.